Great athletes, who are they? And how did they do what they did? And how did they do what they do? For these athletes who are still out there performing in today's world, what is it that separates these real greats from the rest? How is it that you get these serial winners who continually break the boundaries of sporting performance? This has been my line of inquiry for well over 20 years, looking at how do the great athletes do what they do? How is excellence really achieved? And how is excellence achieved consistently over time? So in this video, there's only one place to start, because we're going to look at the great man himself, my idol, my hero, Muhammad Ali. What are some of the traits, some of the qualities, some of the characteristics that a man like Muhammad Ali had? Well, he gave us a clue when he repeated one of his most famous phrases over and over. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. He would bellow down the cameras, telling the reporters, telling anyone and everyone who would listen to his words. So let's just break down the statement, I am the greatest. Well, being the psychologist that I am, I look at words, because words have power. So whenever somebody talks about I am, when everybody or anybody uses the phrase I am, they're talking about a belief, an identity belief, a self-identity belief. And whether he truly was that at the time, it was almost irrelevant. He was whipping himself up into such a neurological state, almost a trance-like state, when he would repeat this phrase, I am the greatest, I am the greatest. And when you look back at his fight, especially after the Sonny Liston fight, he's repeating it over and over again, I told you. And this is because he planted the seed of greatness inside his mind way before that fight with Sonny Liston. He had to see it and he had to believe it before anyone else happened. So where is Muhammad Ali's real power? His real power came from a self-belief that he created for himself. And just like he created for himself, you can create beliefs for yourself too. My neuroscience techniques help athletes create new self-beliefs and get rid of some of those old unwanted ones. But Muhammad Ali had this deep-rooted belief of I am the greatest, and this was what was governing his behaviours. When you really, truly, and more importantly, honestly believe in a belief, then that belief becomes like a magnet. You attract things which align with this belief, and with that comes the training, comes the dedication, comes the mastery of a skill or skills. With a belief like Muhammad Ali's, it came with habits which grew his behaviours and grew his fitness and grew his techniques and grew his belief more and more, because the beliefs become self-fulfilling. They drive more and more behaviours, more and more habits, more and more patterns which are in line with that belief. So Muhammad Ali, it all started with belief, and with that came an explosion of performances that did shake up the world. When he was, standing up and telling people what round he was going to knock people down in, and then going out and doing it, he was setting his intentions ahead of time. He was planning what he was going to do, visually, verbally, kinesthetically, ahead of time. These are the traits, these are the powerful traits which the greats have. They have deep-rooted self-belief. The setbacks never stopped them. The setbacks never stopped Muhammad Ali, did they? Even when he lost his fight against Joe Frazier, his self-belief didn't wane. How many of you out there, when you lose or you get a setback, how many take it too personally? How many start questioning themselves? Do you start questioning yourself when something goes wrong? He didn't question. Not in a way that lowered his performance. He questioned himself to then put things right that were wrong. So his self-belief enabled him to get beyond failures, to get beyond mistakes. This is another key quality of Muhammad Ali. Failure never stopped him. It drove him to even greater levels of dedication, to even greater levels of mastery of his skill. He was once asked, how many sit-ups do you do for training? And his reply was, I only start counting the number of sit-ups I do once I start feeling pain. He was prepared to take his body to places that many other people were not, and it was his mind driving him there. Third key habit, quality or trait of Muhammad Ali was a deep-rooted why. He wasn't just fighting for himself. And for any athletes out there who's really trying to achieve excellence and take their performance to the highest level possible, you need to have a deep-rooted why. And what is a why? It's a value. Our brain, our neurological structures within the mind and brain are driven by certain neurological patterns. At the deepest level, we have our identity. After that, we have our values, the things which we believe are important to us. Then we have beliefs. Then we have our behaviours, our capabilities. So Muhammad Ali, as well as having a really, really strong, powerful I am belief, I am the greatest belief, he then also had a really strong value which went beyond himself. When you have values which go beyond yourself, it drives your behaviours into much broader areas. You're not just doing it for yourself. When you're doing something for others, it becomes far more powerful because it has greater meaning behind what you're doing. So Muhammad Ali had a really strong why, and as he said, I'm not fighting for myself, I'm fighting for my little brothers and sisters who are dying on the streets. He was doing it for his people, and in the end it became bigger than his people, it became everybody. He wanted to spread love, joy, passion, dedication to the world, but it started with trying to uplift Black Americans and then Africans and then the whole world. He was fighting, he was stepping in that ring to inspire people to get up, to keep getting up, to keep breaking down boundaries, to keep breaking down boundaries inside the mind and keep breaking down social boundaries, economical boundaries. He was helping people break their limiting beliefs, because when people saw him step in the ring and do what he did, it gave people hope, it gave people a mission, it gave people passion for life, seeing what he was doing. If you want to really achieve greatness, then you've got to have really strong belief in yourself. You've got to be prepared to fail and come back from failure and drive you to even greater success. And if you want real greatness, if you want to achieve real deep-founded excellence, then you need to have a strong why. You need to go beyond yourself, because just doing it for you, it's not enough. When you need to get up for your family, for your children, for your friends, for your supporters, when you have a reason that goes beyond yourself, or just for the reasons of playing, when you have these deeper reasons, you can generate far greater levels of tenacity, desire and motivation to keep doing what you're doing. The more people that you're doing it for, the greater your reasons why. Perhaps it's something that happened in the past. Perhaps you encountered something which left you with a mark, a scar, a mental, emotional scar, and you're just trying to prove some people wrong because of that. These are the types of whys that I'm talking about. So spend some time delving inside your mind. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Ask yourself this question and write down at least 10 answers. What's most important to me about playing sport? What's most important to me about playing the sport that I play? And also ask this question, what's most important to me about living the life that I want? These answers from those questions are values. You find out your deeper values as to why you're doing what you do. What are the things essentially that you want from life? And what Muhammad Ali wanted from life was to break down racial prejudice. He wanted to fight to uplift people. He wasn't fighting for himself. He certainly wasn't just fighting for money, because he gave most of it away. He was fighting for people. He was fighting for humanity, and this is why people like me, many millions and millions and millions of people were drawn to him, because we could feel his intention. It was felt throughout the world. So, if you dare to become a great, then I've given you 3 secrets to excellence, to the greats here, just 3. Obviously there's far more that we could delve into with Muhammad Ali, but these are 3 really powerful characteristics that he displayed throughout his career and then beyond. After, when he retired, he was still living by his values, his deep-seated why, way after he retired. So I encourage you, go and find out more about Muhammad Ali, go and watch the documentaries, go and watch the videos, go and watch his famous interviews, learn, step inside the mind of the greats and model them, and take from these people the nuggets, the habits, the strategies, the things that they were doing, and put your own stamp on them and become your own great. So I hope you found this video useful today. If you liked it, click the link below, subscribe. I've got more of these videos coming about the great athletes, about some of the things that they did, about the psychology behind what they were doing, how they were impacting the world in the way that they did. Thanks again, and see you soon.